Well, good afternoon to you, and while the year might have moved on, the sporting headlines haven't changed much since the end of 1987. Liverpool march on. They beat Coventry at Anfield 4-0 this afternoon. Peter Beardsley scored in the first half. John Aldridge added the second after the interval. Ray Houghton got the third before Beardsley scored again. But Forest have lost ground. They went down 2-0 at home to Newcastle. Paul Gascoigne scored Newcastle's first goal, Mirandinha the second. Arsenal drew. They went to Fratton Park to meet Portsmouth, for whom Terry Connor scored first, and then Alan Smith got the equaliser for Arsenal. And Manchester United were held to a goalless draw at Old Trafford, that by Charlton. Well, reports on the top matches coming up, along with details of today's rugby and racing. But now it's time for the classified football results.
The Barclays League Division 1. Liverpool 4, Coventry City 0. Luton Town 3, Chelsea 0. Manchester United 0, Charlton Athletic 0. Norwich City 4, West Ham United 1. Nottingham Forest 0, Newcastle United 2. Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 1. Queen's Park Rangers 3, Southampton 0. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Everton 0. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Watford 1. Wimbledon 2, Derby County 1. Division 2, Aston Villa 5, Hull City 0. Blackburn Rovers 4, Sheffield United 1. Bournemouth 4, Birmingham City 2. Crystal Palace 3, Barnsley 2. Leeds United 2, Bradford City 0. Millwall 1, Leicester City 0. Oldham Athletic 3, Middlesbrough 1. Plymouth Argyle 1, Reading 3. Shrewsbury Town 3, Huddersfield Town 1. Stoke City 1, Ipswich Town 2. Swindon Town and West Bromwich Albion is a late result. League Division 3, Aldershot and Bristol Rovers, another late result. Blackpool 5, Bury 1. Bristol City 2, Brentford 3. Chesterfield 3, Mansfield Town 1. Fulham 1, Brighton 2. Grimsby Town and Notts County, a late result. Northampton Town 2, Walsall 2. Rotherham United 1, Port Vale 0. Southend United 1, Gillingham 3. Sunderland 3, Doncaster Rovers 1. Wigan Athletic 2, Preston North End 0. York City 2, Chester City 0. Division 4, Bolton Wanderers 3, Scarborough 1. Cambridge United 1, Peterborough United 3. Carlisle United 3, Burnley 4. Colchester United 0, Scunthorpe United 3. Darlington 1, Hartlepool United 1. Leyton Orient 0, Torquay United 2. Newport County 1, Exeter City 1. Rochdale 0, Halifax Town 0. Swansea City 2, Cardiff City 2. Tranmere Rovers 4, Stockport County 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Hereford United 0. Wrexham 2, Crewe Alexandra 1. The fine fair Scottish League Premier Division, Dundee 2, Dunfermline Athletic 0. Motherwell 0, Falkirk 0. Division 1, Clyde 1, Partick Thistle 2. Forfar Athletic 1, Meadowbank Thistle 2.
Well, if anyone thought 1988 was going to see a change in fortune for the clubs chasing Liverpool at the top of the table, I think they've got to think again, because Liverpool's triumphant march goes on. They beat Coventry 4-0 at Anfield today, watched by David Davis.
Yes, a result mightily predictable, almost inevitable, you'll say, but no question, this was Peter Beardsley's finest match for Liverpool. His was the first half goal by which they led at half-time. Then 10 minutes into the second half, Beardsley's delightful pass, Steve Nicholls' first-time cross, Aldridge's 18th league goal of the season, but it's creation absolute perfection. Beardsley again was involved in number 3, the crucial pass for Houghton, and to cap it all, his was the surging run and the shot that beat Agrizovic. All ends up 6 minutes from time. Coventry, you know, haven't won at Anfield in 20 years, and they never look likely to embarrass Liverpool today. 11 goals without reply in 3 Christmas games now for the runaway league leaders, and the cruel message for the rest of the First Division is that for long periods this afternoon they'll accept they were actually, Liverpool, a little below their best. Liverpool 4, Coventry 0.
Going well, aren't they? Well, despite Forest's defeat at home to Newcastle, Arsenal's hopes of making up 3 points on them were shelved at Fratton Park by Portsmouth. Tony Gubber was there.
Well, Arsenal were a goal down at Portsmouth after only 8 minutes when a bad mistake by Tony Adams allowed Terry Connor to sweep the ball past John Lukic. But they finally salvaged a point with a 1-1 draw thanks to an equalising goal from Alan Smith, who came on as a late substitute in the second half, and then a fine penalty save from John Lukic with only 3 minutes left on the clock. And when Kevin Dillon stepped up to take that penalty to Portsmouth, I'm sure that everyone in Fratton Park thought that the team were going to get it and that Portsmouth would win 2-1. But it was a magnificent save by Lukic to keep the score at 1 apiece. And so Arsenal have got their first points from the holiday football programme.
Well, Spurs continue with their revival. This morning they met Watford at White Hart Lane. They won 2-0 and were watched by Gerald Sinstadt.
For more than an hour, this was poor entertainment for 25,000 spectators in search of a happy new year. Watford, short of confidence and cohesion, did little to trouble Spurs, for whom Terry Fenwick made a competent debut in the centre of defence. Tottenham were little better, although Clive Allen was disappointed when his header was ruled not to have crossed the line. Then the goals came in a flurry. Both Spurs' efforts were set up by crosses from Chris Waddle, by a long way the most creative and accomplished player on the field. Clive Allen headed the first after a dreadful mistake by Mel Rees in the Watford goal. Mark Morris equalised, and then Paul Moran headed the winner, his first for Tottenham. Final flourish of the match was a red card waved by Mr. Axel, the referee, at Watford's physiotherapist Derek French. Physio, remove thyself, or words to that effect.
So 2-1 the final score there. Now let's have a look and see how those results affect the top of Division 1. There we are. Liverpool still 13 points in lead over the second club, Nottingham Forest. Arsenal, who picked up their first point in 3 holiday games, stayed third, 2 points behind Forest. Manchester United moved up to fourth, ahead of Queen's Park Rangers on goal difference. Then come Everton and Wimbledon, both on 37 points. And Watford, beaten at Tottenham this morning, are now alone in bottom place. Charlton moved a point above them after their draw at Manchester United. Portsmouth also gained a point from their match with Arsenal, but stayed third from bottom. Norwich City continue their recent improvement and move above Oxford, Coventry and Derby, who are now in 15th place. In Division 2, new leaders in Aston Villa, who beat Hull 5-0 today. They lead Middlesbrough on goal difference. Crystal Palace and Millwall, who both won this morning, are in 3rd and 4th places. And at the bottom, Reading gained only their 5th win of the season, winning at Plymouth, and hand over bottom place to Huddersfield, who lost at Shrewsbury. And Sunderland have increased their lead at the top after their 3-1 win over Doncaster, but Notts County and Walsall were held to draws, but there were good wins for Brighton, Wigan and Brentford. And at the bottom of Division 3, York made up ground on Doncaster at the bottom with their win over Chester, but are still 7 points behind. Wolves go back to the top of Division 4 after their 2-0 win over Hereford. Steve Bull scoring both the goals to take his tally to the season to 26. Colchester were beaten 3-0 at home by Scunthorpe, and Leyton Orient also lost at home, going down 2-0 to Torquay. Dave Caldwell getting both the goals there. And at the bottom of the 4th Division, Newport still well adrift after their 1-1 draw with Exeter. Now, the top match in Britain over the holiday takes place tomorrow in the Scottish Premier Division. Celtic against Rangers at Celtic Park. And the players of both sides have had a warning to be on their best behaviour after that ill-tempered clash at Ibrox Park. The last time the two sides met, 3 players sent off then. Well, you can see if we have a look at the top of the Scottish Premier Division that the importance of that game, Celtic out in front. Only Dundee of those sides playing today. But at the bottom, Morton still bottom. They're 4 points behind Falkirk, followed by Dunfermline and Motherwell going up. And that's the top of Division 1 in Scotland. Hamilton Academicals, 3 points clear of Wraith Rovers. And we've got some late kickoffs from the Football League. In Division 2, Swindon Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 0, and in Division 3, Aldershot beating Bristol Rovers 3-0, and in the game between Grimsby Town and Notts County, it's 0-0.